Great, great. So okay, we can start now. Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your time, Laurie. So we are from Latin America, Mexico. The rock is culture. That's the name in Spanish is El Rock es Cultura, and we've been around like more than 10 years now. Like we have like in like I don't know, approx like 15 million followers in all the no social media, etc., etc. And we are so glad to have you here. We love, and our audience love the Erasmus so much here. Um,
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
no, yeah, of course. I'm like it's an honor for us and for me to actually have a small conversation with you. So let's go to the point now. We are all here, yes, with all the people watching this interview, and your new album, titled Weirdo. Um, you've said the band has always celebrated uniqueness. So how has your understanding of being a weirdo evolved since the early days of the Rasmus?
Yeah, well, I think it had a different meaning, kind of. That word had a different sound, 30 years ago when I went to school. I always thought I was a weirdo, but I thought it was like a burden or something like I had to carry. Like it was like a negative word. But then time has gone by, and I've I think I've gained more self confidence year by year, and I'm still that weird dude. Maybe I'm even more weird now. I don't know, but I really think that I'm proud of it. Like nowadays, I'm actually seeing it as a positive thing, and it's really like important to be a little bit to have self irony and kind of be able to laugh at yourself. And I think it makes just life easier. And also, like people around you, they can relax more if you are just like taking it a little bit easier.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So like you're having like this tour, right? You will be visiting Guadalajara, Monterrey, Mexico City this December as a part of the Weirdo Tour celebrating the 30 years. What does it mean to you to bring this milestone to Mexico, and do you feel a special connection with this audience there?
Yeah, well, Mexican audience is, always very important for us. It's one of the key markets for the Rasmus, which is awesome. Like we have come there first time 20 years ago, and ever since, like the fan base has grown, and now we're gonna to play these three quite big shows, and I'm very excited to return. It's just something about the Mexican audience is so like passionate, and it's always like cherry on top. It's going to actually be the last shows on this tour. We are starting the tour in 2 weeks, in 1 week actually, and then we're gonna play all the way until December.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah,
Excellent.
so we have been preparing like obviously like old songs because we want to celebrate the long career. We are of course playing all the hit songs, In the Shadows and Guilty and like
Yeah.
Sail Away and all these songs, but also we want to present the Rasmus as we are now in 2025. It's very important
Yeah.
for us to show people the new Erasmus because we feel like we have been able to renew ourselves quite
Mhm.
much with this new album, and we're gonna play a lot of songs from it, of course.
Totally, yeah. Well, I'm kind of sad because I'm in Lima, Peru. Maybe I can jump to Mexico to be on the concert.
Oh
But like I saw that you don't have dates yet to Lima, Peru, right?
no, but we are definitely coming to play in Latin America later.
Mhm. Great.
Uh, yeah, I think we'll have to do that like in the spring, early spring,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know. But honestly, I don't know exactly when, but
Yeah.
that's for sure. We are planning that, and we've always enjoyed touring Latin America. There's so many countries and different cultures and interesting places to
Yeah.
visit. It's just the best.
Like the food also is kind of different, right? Like in Latin America than in I don't know, like Ireland, Finland, Europe, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah, like
it's like,
you were saying something about like like it had my attention about like the evolving of the band and how you want to show this kind of maybe new thing around. And I have this thought about like when you performed in Kiev in Ukraine in the Atlas Festival like
yeah.
this year, like you shared that it was like an eye-opening experience, and like because even sleeping in shelters during air raid alarms, etc., right? Like how did that an intense experience influence your lyrical perspective or stage presence?
Well, at the moment when we played that concert, I think it was pretty emotional to sing some of the lyrics to our songs, like, even in the shadows, how it sounded different, how the lyrics got new meanings. No
Mhm.
fear, for example, was like, it's like a pretty perfect match. Or living in a world without you, also really singing that song, and in that situation, in that country that is in the middle of war, was really like giving me goosebumps, like just be thinking of how this lyric is now translated in a different way. But I think when it comes to writing songs in the future, that trip was very important because I obviously felt a lot of things during that 5 day trip. There was like, obviously, there was fear, there was like, pain, all that stuff, but also there was a lot of hope. I met so many people who were just like, young people, like, oh, we're gonna fight and this will be over, one day, and then you can come back here and play another show. And they were so like, they are fighters, these people. It's unbelievable. It was a really beautiful visit, despite all the terrible things. It was really good to go there.
Yeah,
And we did
totally.
also, it was like a charity show, so we donated almost €1 million for
Mm.
this children's hospital, and it was really good.
Well, that's amazing. Yeah, totally. So like around this new production, you've mentioned wanting like a tailored production for each song on Weirdo, right? Like letting each track live its own kind of life, you know?
Yeah.
Like, could you give me an example of like of that of like maybe comparing two contrasting tracks between that?
Well, yeah, like my idea of the album was like I wanted to go harder, like I wanted to make it heavier than before. And there were songs, for example, Rest in Pieces, which was the first song we put out. And that, like, musically, I wanted to follow the lyrics, which is like really angry lyric. It's like I'm really pissed off about this guy, this old friend who betrayed me. So this was like a very instant song. Actually, was the last song to be written on the album, and everything was basically done already. And then I had this awful experience with him, and then the next night I woke up in the middle of the night, and this song came to my head, and I started writing, and I recording in the middle of the night, and it was very spontaneous. And then we wanted to put it out as the first track, just because it was so fresh and it was so like powerful song with the production and everything. So I wanted to match the vibe of the lyric with that, like a double bass drum and like really low guitars and like hard stuff. And then, for example, there's a song called Banksy.
Mhm.
Banksy is like kind of like a fun punk song. So we wanted to go a little lighter, like a more punky, like, the tempo is kind of getting out off the hand, and like it's like a more like a lo-fi production in a way or something. Just like it's fun to try to take everything out of the the creative process, like to go all the
Mhm.
way, like with the the artwork, with the video, with the production of the music, everything like kind of like, because I always think even those visual things are very important, like another like a dimension. When you listen to the music, if you can see something that we want to show from our world of the RASMUS, like it's cool.
And like talking about these creative new tools, like do you have any kind of a strong or not neutral opinion about AI between music, art, like now?
Yeah, my opinion is kind of like not finished. I don't know exactly what I think about it, like, but mostly I feel a bit disgusted. When I see, like, if I'm scrolling something and I see these AI videos and it makes me feel like somehow like bad, like I want to throw up or something. Like it gives me that anxious feeling. I don't know really how to explain it. I like to look at I follow a lot of artists who like are good in drawing or painting or something.
Yeah.
And then obviously I think AI has hit that kind of area quite bad. Like people are doing a lot of and ripping off a lot of art and doing like ripping off styles, and like it's tough for these people. But for example, when we did this Rest in Pieces, the single, I contacted a girl who I've been following on Instagram. She's an illustrator, and she drew this, the girl who's on the cover of that single.
Yeah.
She's a really cool artist. Her name is Laura, and she has like 1 million followers. She's really popular. And she turned out to be a fan of the RASMUS. And she was like, oh my God, like, you asked me to do this. So it was really fun. Like, we could do something like that together. And I don't know how much they used AI. Personally, I haven't even tried. I don't know. I just don't feel like I want to give away the fun part of creating something. Exactly. Because for me, that's like what makes me maybe the most happy. Like when I'm writing a song and I can just get it done myself, like that feeling, like when it starts to happen, and it's kind of magical. I wouldn't want to do it. So, I just type down some words and then a song comes out. Like, I don't understand that.
Like looking back 3 decades with Erasmus, basically, like do you think that's the like what's the difference after 3 decades? But what is the thing that is steady? What you just answered, what is steady? That you like to be really authentic with your creativity and your music, But like, if there's something that has fundamentally changed.
Well, I think it's good we have new technology. Like a lot of people have recorded amazing albums in their bedrooms and on their laptops, and even Billie Eilish, like she recorded some of the early stuff in her bedroom with her brother, just like she went under the blanket to sing, like how cool is that? And then it becomes like number one in the whole world. And that's so cool, like, because like back in the days when we started, for example, like there was like before you got to a studio to record something, you had to have a record deal, and there's so many steps like you had to climb, and so many good artists just couldn't. Maybe they didn't have something that it required. Maybe they were still great singers and songwriters. Now they could just make something and put it there, like straight, and share it, and then people might love it, and they could share it, and it could become something, and it costs nothing, basically. It's amazing.
Yeah. No, totally. So, wow, it's been so interesting to talk with you. It's been a real pleasure. Congratulations for this 30 years of the Erasmus and for this release of Weirdo. And we are really excited you to have here in Mexico. Do you think it's too much to ask if you can just like invite our people for the concert, for our magazine, is the rock is culture, and just whatever weirdness you wanted to say.
What's the name of it again?
El rock es cultura, but it's the rock is
El rock
cultura.
es cultura.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Hi guys, it's Lauri from the RASMUS. You're watching El Rock. What was it?
El rock es cultura.
El Rock es cultura.
Cultura.
Okay,
Like culture.
do it again.
Yeah, cultural.
Sorry, my brain is melting. Hi guys, this is Lauri from the RASMUS. You're watching El Rock es cultura. Come and check out our show in Monterrey in December. See you guys there.